Okay, squad, real talk. In only a couple of weeks, I dropped from 13.5% to 12.4% body fat. And I packed on muscle in my arms, legs, and core without a single caliper pinch or DEXA scan appointment. The secret, this awesome little device here, Hume's Body Pod. So I want you to think of it as the next evolution of a smart scale. The pod fires 8 separate electrical frequencies through dedicated sensors in both the platform and the retractable handles, mapping your entire torso, arms, and legs, 45 different health metrics in one 90-second scan. These frequencies are going to read your body's resistance and reactance. Then the onboard chip, tested to plus or minus 3% of a DEXA scan, converts that into fat mass, muscle mass, bone, water, visceral fat, and even metabolic age. Now, before we continue, it's important to let you know and be truthful that this is not my first rodeo with a body composition scale. As a matter of fact, I've been using the Tanita Ironman series scale, oh my goodness, since 2012. And while it was good for its time, and I definitely was able to progressively overload with it because the more information that you can track on a weekly and bi-weekly and monthly basis, the better off your training is going to be. It's going to be more accurate. This is just better all around. It has way more metrics. I'm not gonna lie, I was really tired of writing my results on a piece of paper. The app is just such a game changer. We're gonna go into that now. Let's talk about the results that I've had in the last 3 weeks. And remember that it's not just the scan. You have to put hard work into it, but when work is tracked, studies show that people that track their workouts and track their composition scans just do well across the board because they know how to tweak specific areas of their workout when they have more information to pull from. So let's look at my week 1 numbers. This is the metric that's been available for so many decades. And it's really one of the worst metrics to track because it's so inaccurate. There's so much that goes on in a human being's weight. So let's get into what I like to focus on with my clients, which is body fat percentage. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this and I'm gonna go start scrolling down. So let's start with, so it shows my weight. And by the way, here's what my weight looked like over the course of the last 3 weeks to month, okay? Because I started in June, right around the beginning of mid-June. And I was around 177. You could see me gaining. And right around here is where I had my bachelor party. So that was a lot of fun. And then I rode the bicycle like a madman when I came back, and that's where that drop happened. Got a little bit back and then dropped a little bit more. Okay, so I like to always be transparent about stuff, and I mean, you can't lie about this. I mean, you see the graph here, but this is June 19th, 178, and today is July 22nd, so 180. So I'm pretty much averaging right around 178 to 180 pounds. Now, let's go back and we're gonna go to body fat percentage. So this is where I was really putting in work. So I started at 13.5%. Right now I'm at 13.2%. I was at 12.4, and then I'll be honest, I had some not so great food. So here, now you can see that, right? So let's start here. Go all the way here. So again, June 19th, 12.9%. Then 13.5%, 13.4, 13.9, 14%. And again, I was not eating the greatest at that time. I'll be totally transparent with you. You can see what's happening here. And then I just went freaking like a madman. I think I was doing cardio about 4 to 5 times a week here. And I was pushing zone 4 almost every single time. So getting down to 12.4 was really nice. And then I went up a little bit. So no worries. You can see here. So 13.4, 13.4, 7, 12.4, 12.4, 13.1. And it's just nice to be able to track it in the app. Before I had to do this manually, and I'll show you what that used to look like, and I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. Now, lean muscle, and by the way, body fat percentage is one of the best metrics to track. And if you're wondering what each metric does, if you click on it here and you go down here, you can see here what is body fat percentage, and you can read that, and then you can see the secondary metrics. Okay, how do you rate that? So my body fat mass is low, body fat percentage is low, Shows the starting value, overall change, highest value, lowest value. This is all great stuff to really track your progress from day to day, week to week. Let's go into lean mass. So what is lean mass? Your total body weight minus fat and bone minerals. So this includes muscles, organs, water, and other central tissues that power your body's core functions. So 80.1, about standard. Started at 144.6, went up to 145. You can really see what was going on here. I was gaining a lot of muscle because I've been doing a lot of strength training, guys. A lot. As soon as I got the Hume Body Pod, I was like, okay, well, let's put it to the test. Let's see. Okay, so I increased my total overall training volume, and I love that I was able to track that. Subcutaneous fat, you can see that is right around the time where I was doing all that cardio. So all these things are going to be consistent. Now I'm going to keep scrolling. If I explain what every single thing did, this video would be like 25, 30, 35 minutes long. But I am going to go over a couple of things. Again, body fat percentage is really important, guys. And subcutaneous fat, that's the fat stored directly under your skin. So if you have a lot of cellulite, subcutaneous fat tends to be pretty high. Visceral fat, the fat that surrounds your internal organs, I don't think that's changed at all. 5 weeks. 5. Yeah, that makes pretty good sense. Skeletal mass. So it was going up. And then, yeah, I made some mistakes, I'll be honest. But again, I just love that I was able to track it. Like, that is so huge. So skeletal muscle mass, the total mass of muscles attached to your bones and help you move. What's the difference between that and skeletal mass? Well, let's find out. Skeletal mass is the total mass of your skeletal system, including bones, cartilage, bone marrow, and other connective tissues. So it's your framework. Bone mineral content is high, so I have strong bones. That is very good. When I used the other scale, I was floating around like 7.9 to 8.1. So this is right in alignment with that old scale. Body water percentage. What shocked me is the week that I had the bachelor party, it went up. Maybe I was drinking a lot of water to negate that, and it still went up. I don't know. So basal metabolic rate is the amount of that's the amount of calories that your body needs just to exist. So this is going to fluctuate based off of whether you are gaining in or losing. So you can see that my 1852 at the beginning went to 1869, but I had a high of 1876 here. So again, your body burning calories at complete rest to maintain basic life functions. And this is going to determine your total daily energy needs. Now, this is a little different from what's called your TDEE number, which you have to run a calculation for. That is the number, and you use BMR as a base. The TDEE number is the number you use to figure out what your caloric surplus and or deficit is. Okay, so you do need BMR for that, but this is not the number you use for going into surplus or deficit. Metabolic age, I believe I stayed at 26 years old the entire time. I am 35, so I'm totally happy with that. My resting heart rate has been a bit high. I've been drinking energy drinks. They suck. They are absolute trash for you. So that doesn't surprise me at all. Body cell mass, I believe I was going, yeah, exactly. So I was going up and I started to dip again. So body cell mass, the total mass of your metabolically active cells. So what does that mean? I was more active and then I slipped up a little bit, and that's okay. Again, the point of this is to show, okay, you guys know, longtime subscribers, you guys know that I'm transparent. So I'm gonna show you the good and the bad. Ironically enough, I've had the Body Pod for almost a month now. If I had done this about a week and a half ago, you would have seen a great, I think transformation is a strong word, but you would have seen a good outcome. Now, all this to look back here and see this health score. This is what my health score was. Was this Thursday, July 19th? No, this was June 19th. So this is right around when I started. So you can see that my health score went from 573 here to 656, and part of that was that I connected my Garmin Forerunner 165 that you guys have been hearing me talking about. And what that did was that increased my score because I added sleep metrics to it, and sleep is important. So it does factor that into your routine. So I did decrease my body fat percentage to what I said in the beginning of the video, but which was, again, and by the way, you can select here in the top right corner which metric you want to look at in detail, which is so awesome. So I'm going to go click from weight to body fat percentage, and like I said, I started around 13.4 and I said I got to 12.4, so I lost 1% body fat. Okay, and it's only until this last week that I messed up. So, but hey, at least you guys are getting a real no BS. But hey, at least you guys are getting a real weigh-in here, a real true body composition weigh-in. I'm not holding anything back. I'm showing you guys the good and the bad. Now, here's what I really like about this app, I mean, above all else, and that is when you switch from Hume here to Body. So, you'll see my age, you'll see my metabolic age. Again, really loving that. My height, 5'9". And what is this? Well, you have your muscle mass for the 5 major areas: right arm, left arm, trunk, which is your core, right leg, left leg. So if you look at this, it gives you results compared to Hume users like yourself. So I'm on the higher end. All right, challenge accepted, right? But that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on right arm, so you know what that means. So again, like, it was climbing. I was doing a lot of volume, and then I had my crap week. I worked out twice last week. I normally work out 5 days a week, and with that, cardio 4 days a week. Last week I performed cardio twice and I worked out twice. So you can see the math literally take care of itself, and I ate poorly. So I mean, that was just a double whammy. But I just like that you can see that. So I did not do my arms that week. No bicep curls. So you guys can literally see what's going on here, right? So right leg, I'm really liking this because it's showing the muscle mass. It's not just the weight, right? So longtime subscribers know that I've really been focusing on leg hypertrophy. Well, it's great to see that the muscle in the legs has been increasing. It's been a combination of high intensity cardio using the bike, and the e-bike, I know, of all things, right? And it's been packing on muscle. It's been very synergistic with my leg days, very synergistic. So you can literally see what I started with: 25.3, 26.3. So literally a pound of muscle in my right leg, but the one that's actually deficient is my left leg. You can see the difference, and if you look at me head on, you can see that my left leg is smaller. I had an injury to my knee a while, I think it was like 2018, and I've been battling it ever since. Part of why I got the Isomax, right? So you can see where I started at. Got 23.4, I got all the way up to 24.8, and I didn't do much, but I still didn't slide all the way back to that, which is the 23.4. So I'm at 24.8. That'll be right back up likely next week. So still, even with all that, it's still on, it's like, it's past standard, but it's leaning on high. It says high. That's not good enough for me. But again, what I love the most is that you can track the metrics. So trunk, what does my core look like? Standard. That really makes me sad because I love core and I considered core my strongest attribute. I think I know where this is coming from, and that is from my spinal erector, because I have an okay-ish lower back, and that needs work. But that's getting the total skeletal mass within your trunk. So I do like this. It shows organ mass as well. You can see the starting value and the highest value. Again, the more metrics you have, the better you can train yourself. Okay, so the more information you have, you can start to adjust your workout programs on the fly. It's like, okay, well, if I notice that my left leg, the muscle mass in my left leg went down from last week, right? All right. Maybe on my cycling, I need to pump on my left leg because it's always been trailing behind my right. So pump on it more, okay? Next thing I want to show you is the fat percentage. So you can actually see the fat percentage. This is interesting here, but you can see 13, 15.6. Isn't that an interesting? I've been losing more fat because I've been doing more cardio, so you can kind of see that that's starting to go down. At some point, I expect a point of diminishing returns because I'm starting to lift fairly heavy on this, but we'll see. Just got to follow the trend lines. You can see this too, exactly, yeah. So you can start to see it going down. But the thing is, the weights have been going up. So there was fat mass in my arms, and I started to work hard on them, developing lean muscle mass, which burns fat. So that makes sense that from the beginning, the 15.9% of fat in my arm has dropped down to 13.8. That makes total sense to me. Trunk. So started at 12.9, went up to 13.2 a little bit, but then dropped a lot. That's, again, right where that cardio split went that you guys saw earlier. So everything is in alignment. The legs started at 9.8, dropped to 9.2. So yeah, my legs are leaning out. You can see, like, when even here, I know you guys can't see me right now, but even here, I'm looking at my legs just sitting on this chair, and you can see the veins in them. You used to not be able to see them, and it's not like I had huge legs to begin with, but you couldn't see the veins before. My body fat percentage is dropping. So I really like that. All these metrics that you can track allow you to hyper customize your workout program. So when you create your program, you can just select the profile here, connect it to the device, and I also have it to Google Health Connect. So how it got my sleep score is my Garmin Forerunner 165 is also connected to the Google Health Connect. So they're both connected, so that's how it got my sleep score. Same thing, Body Pod just connected Bluetooth, just connected to the Bluetooth. And I mean, you're good to go. It was the easiest setup ever. You have options to do programs and classes. That's if you want to upgrade your memberships. You saw there it said try premium, but you can do a free trial if you wish. You can purchase their health band. I did not have one because I have the Forerunner 165, but you can certainly get that. It's very synergistic with the Body Pod. And that's my transformation from week 1 to week 3, and you even saw the week 3 to week 4 where I messed up. That showed you how accurate it was, because I definitely wasn't on my game last week. Dropping a full % of body fat in under a month is cool, but what really mattered was where those changes happened. The pod told me I've burned midsection fat, thank you deficit, but still added pounds of muscle to my arms and legs, what I was most excited about, from the progressively overloaded workouts. And what I really liked is when I thought that I had a really good workout, and we have DOMs and the 24 to 48 hour recovery period for the muscles to restructure and get stronger, I could literally see the percentage start to go up. That's just something that I didn't have access to before, unless I had a DEXA scan. And I've had a DEXA scan before, and I really love to see the whole body being measured. And this, I just love this about this Hume Body Pod. So speaking of features, let's go through some real quick. The handle retracts, it's Bluetooth, and we have a family profile switch, which is great. I do also like that it stores a ton of different users, up to 24. So I can use this for my clients and have them download the app, which is so freaking sweet. 98% accuracy versus $25,000 clinical gear without leaving your house. 45 different metrics, visceral fat, bone mineral, resting heart rate estimate, which is awesome, metabolic age. We have a 90-second scan, silent, zero radiation, safe for weekly check-ins, syncs to Apple Health, Google Fit, Garmin, and spits out a PDF report you can DM to your coach. Quick side note, I love that it integrates with Garmin because I have a Garmin Forerunner 165. The numbers that I get on here, including my sleep score, go to the Hume app. It's factored into my overall health number. Just again, the more metrics we have, the better we are able to tailor our workout programs. Information, and it's freaking awesome. The app itself, by the way, is free and runs a full year on one USB-C charge. So I usually weigh in about 3 times a week, always fasted, 7:30 in the morning, bare feet, handles at waist height. The app is gonna auto log this data, then kicks me a Monday health report that says, hey, your workout's been on point, but your sleep tanked Wednesday. Here's the fix. It's like having a mini coach screaming at me on my phone, but politely. Massive thanks to Hume Health for sponsoring today's deep dive. So if you're done guessing and you're ready to laser track your focus, I highly recommend Hume. I have been using this religiously. I love this scale. So hit the link below and use this code for a sweet discount. The return policy is 30 days, but if you're a tracker and you're really serious about making moves physically, you're not gonna be returning this. I could guarantee you that. Again, accuracy is 98%. Let's go. Comment your current body fat goal, smash the like button if you love data, and I'll catch you in the next scan.